Printer on the wall. Which one should I choose of them all? Today, the halot-one or two, the Proxima from Voxelab. Join me inside today as we answer that question. Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to cover the verses of the halot-one versus the Voxelab Proxima. Both printers are in my shop. I use them quite a bit, and both printers have ups and downs. So I want to kind of go through my experience, and please keep in mind as you watch this video, this is my opinion of using both machines. So again, my opinion. So I've used both machines. I like both machines. They work great. Each one has some kinks and problems, but we're going to talk about that. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one I personally think I would rather use and keep using and would consider purchasing again. So that's the whole point of this video. If you enjoy this kind of video like this, go check out my Photon Mono X versus the Elegoo Saturn S video. We got more like these coming because there's a lot of printers out there that we can versus of. So awesome thing. So if you guys do enjoy this content when you get through this, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Join us so we can keep building this channel, doing all kinds of fun, cool things like this, and also continue our journey on 3D printing and learning how to 3D print. So with that, we're going to move over and we're going to talk about both these printers. Now, right now, this is going to be purely a discussion. We're not going to go actually grab the printers and do stuff. I may throw up some shots of the printers or shots of what I'm talking about as we go through the video, but this is basically, we're going to talk about specs. And basically, I've made a handy little piece of paper to help scorecard what we're going to do here today. So all in all, let's start with a description of both printers. So the Creality Halot-one is a 6-inch build plate printer. It's got some cool bells and whistles, as well as the Voxelab Proxima is also a 6-inch 3D printer with some pretty neat bells and whistles. So they both run about the same average price point of around $170. Both can be bought from their manufacturers, Amazon, all over the place. Links to my Amazon affiliate is down below for both printers. And both of them have their quirks. So diving into the quirks, one of the things, the LCD, they have the same resolution LCD. So this is a level playing field for both printers. So, and kind of one of the things to keep in mind, shipping. I'm going to start with that. How the printers arrived. If you want to see the unboxing of the printers, go check out those videos. We've got them out here on the channel where I unboxed and put together both of them. Packaging, both did great. The printers arrived nice, safe. They were well insulated in their box, no moving parts or anything so the printers could get damaged. So both manufacturers did a great job on that one. And it's kind of one of the things I look for. If something's just thrown in a box and shipped to me and the care's not there for the device, that really says something about the quality of the device too. If you didn't care how you shipped it, you don't really care about your device and what your people are going to think of it. You just want to sell something. So kind of one of those things. So let's jump into sound of the printers. This is a big one. The two printers put together, there's a stepper motor that controls the build plate. The Halot was so quiet, I couldn't even tell it was moving. I've done a lot of work with it, and it is a super quiet machine. It works great, very noise-free, very happy with it. The Proxima, not so quiet. The stepper motor is very loud. I actually wound up replacing it to quiet the machine. I replaced it with a different stepper motor, and after that the machine is very quiet, and that was a $30 investment on my part to quiet it down. So when it comes to quietness, the halot-one wins that, just hands down. It wins that. So features. The Proxima, it's your pretty standard 6-inch build plate resin printer, great LCD resolution, stuff like that. The halot-one one-upped it a little bit with Wi-Fi connection. That's really the only real one-up that we have for the Halot, is that we have that Wi-Fi connection. So it is one of those things that is really kind of cool about it, and it allows the printer to function a little bit better. So that's really the only big bell and whistle that is different with this printer, is that you have Wi-Fi. And you can just sit at your computer, slice it, and send it to the printer. But here's where the downfall for that happens. And that downfall, when that happens, is the software side of the game. Voxelab Proxima, like many of my printers, I can use Shinto box, I can slice, I can dice, I can do whatever, and I can get it over to the printer and slice. The halot-one can't do that. You have to use Creality's halot-one software. And with that software, when I first got it, I thought my printer was broken. And what I figured out is when I was slicing, it was putting a 2mm gap between the model and the raft, and there was nothing. I had to go back, download more software to fix it, and then also go through a bunch of firmware updates on my printer. And it was kind of annoying to actually get it to work. Where the Proxima, I went into Shinto box, created the profile, used all the defaults, and I'm printing. And it worked great. I'm really happy with that. It got off to a great start, where the halot-one, it took me some time to solve some problems. I had some fails I had to deal with. And if you guys do resin printing and you have a fail, you know that can turn into a real big mess real quick. And no one wants that mess. So the rough road of starting out, if you do get a halot-one, don't use the software on the thumb drive. Go get the newest software from Creality. Get your printer connected to Wi-Fi. Here's the other kicker. So if you're connected to Wi-Fi, the halot-one can update its firmware by itself. You can go out there, press update, and it'll update its firmware. Where the Proxima, you got to go to the website, download it, put it on the thumb drive, update it. The halot-one, having that downloadable feature so it can download and update its own firmware, is pretty darn cool. So that Wi-Fi card, again, kind of smacking the Voxelab Proxima a little bit in the head right there. So both printers, resolution 1620 by 2560. Great resolution, does some really cool minis. I have a lot of fun with that resolution. Print speed, about average between the two. Some prints are faster, some are slower. It depends on what you're printing, how you angle it, and how you print it. But I've done prints on both, the same print, and they finish about the same time. So print speed is about the same. Ease of use, both are good beginner printers. Really good beginner printers, as long as you heed the advice of update your software. For the Halot, the Proxima, Shinto box, install the profile, go to town. Worked really, really well. So both are really good for starters and beginners, or if you're just gonna do a few minis every once in a while. You don't need a big Photon Mono X. Just get you the little guy and do what you need to do. So for cost, for about $180, a wash station about $150 more. Great beginner set. Great start. This is how I started when I bought the Creality, I think it was the L002RD. I can't remember the name. It's the older Creality printer before this one. And I've grown upward. So it is a great printer, especially for somebody that's wanting D&D minis and stuff like that. Great printer to start with. So is the Proxima. Both are great to start with. Let's see here. Firmware update I talked about. Leveling method. So the leveling is different between these two. Creality favors the same as the Anycubic with the 4 bolts, 2 on each side. You level and you tighten the 4 bolts. Where the Proxima favors the Ilugu method with 2 bolts, and it holds the ball in place of the arm. My personal preference is the Creality and Anycubic leveling method. I like the 4-point better. I think it holds it longer and keeps level longer, so I don't have to do as much adjustment unlike the other ones. So, and that could just be tightness. But I find I don't have to level these as much, which is a good thing when you're doing resin. You don't want your level to get off very easy, and to level it can be complete clean out and wipe down, and yeah, not so fun. Not so fun doing that when you want to level. So leveling is different between the two, even though it's the same process. It's the 4 bolts versus the 2. I always kind of prefer the 4 method, but that's where I also started. But when I look at it, I don't have as much trouble with these printers leveling as I did with the Mars and even the Saturn. I feel like I have to level it more than I do my Creality printers and my Anycubic printers. And it's just the way that it's handled. So basically everything I just ran down. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot. So Creality has a few more bells and whistles. Voxelab, I can use what I always use. And looking at it, looking at everything that went through, here's the winner. Here's who I think is the better of the two. Again, my opinion. If you disagree with me, awesome. But taking these two printers, if I had to choose which one to buy again, for the cost, value, ease, quietness, and everything else, I'm back to the halot-one. Being able to go out and let it download and update its own firmware. Granted, I have to use the proprietary software, but as long as that's kept up to date and you don't use the one on the thumb drive, go out and get the one from the website. I haven't really had any problems with it. None whatsoever. The printer prints as designed. And the software is not that hard to use even compared to Shintobox. So a lot of cool things with the software. So yeah, that's my winner. So we decided that's the one that wins. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this content today. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave me a thumbs up button if you liked it. And, you know, if there's a versus of two printers that you'd like to see, whether it's FDM or resin, let me know. If I've got one or if I've got one coming, we'll definitely do a versus, and stick around for upcoming videos as we unbox this big box over here, which is one of the big resin printers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next video.